Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. JC here with another video on Action Taimanin. Today we're going to talk about the fixes, the hot fixes that we need in the game. But before we start, don't forget to leave a like, share and subscribe if you enjoy the content. So, there are two issues right now in the game. Number one, Francis. Number two, Wyrm Knight. So, yeah, as expected. These are two new things that got added into the game, so obviously there was gonna be some flaws on this content, and I hope that Gremory tackle these issues. I mean, they don't have to tackle it right now, but soon would be appreciated. Because I know that they have the anniversary coming, they're gonna be very busy, and people are gonna complain about their anniversary probably. I mean, it has happened, but yeah, I hope that everything works out, and that once they are done with that, they can improve these things, these issues. Fix these issues. So, what is the issue here? With Wyrm Knight, the issue is that the boss has too many iframes, and the AI doesn't know what to do when the enemy has iframes. So, Gremory, just like you did with Queen Arachne, that she had iframes whenever she summoned the spiders, the extra spiders on the last wave, you need to remove the iframes from Ingrid when she's going to elevate herself into the air to lit a fire pit or to launch that slash attack into the ground. Like, we need to be able to break the super armor or interrupt her, maybe inflict mind control if Lena is already defeated, so that we can eliminate her quickly. The problem with iframes is that this content has a timer, a countdown, so if the enemy has invincibility, it is pretty bad for us. The stage becomes way too difficult because you stop dealing damage just cause the enemy is doing its animation, and it's like, why? I would rather have a kind of ultimate animation for the enemy so that they stop the timer and they instantly deal damage to us rather than this. So yeah, please fix that, as well as the fact that the AI doesn't know what to do whenever they lose track of the enemy. Whenever they get the iframes, they start wandering around the stage in weird places, and they most likely will get in contact with the fire pit and start receiving a lot of damage. So please fix it. We really cannot. I mean, it is doable. I have already done it. CJ did it. Other players have done it. They have reached step 100. But it is unbearably difficult. And it also makes auto farming even more difficult. So yeah, please fix it. I'm going to move because if not, I'm going to die. Yeah, auto farming is rough. It's way too much RNG. So let's hope that Gremory does listen to this request. This more than a request, is a demand. Because yeah, they really need to fix it. Everything else is fine. The mechanics are fine. Like Ingrid leading fire pits is fine. She being invulnerable to debuffs while Lena is alive is fine. The fact that effectively the battle has 3 stages: Ingrid alone, Ingrid with Lena, and Ingrid alone. Wyrm Ingrid alone. It's fine. Everything is perfect. But the iframes and the AI, those are the only big issues that I have with this content. And I guess that many players do. On the other hand, we have Francis. Francis is pretty unimpressive gameplay wise. She's charming for sure, and people are gonna get her because of that, but they might get a little bit disappointed. So I think that Gremory needs to do a hotfix similar to what they did with Shiranui back in the day, like before we get the renewals. But after the strengthening from the limited packs, or before, I don't remember, they did a fix on Shiranui, and this really is a fix. So, what are the issues with this character? Well, number one, the fact that the leader skill doesn't do anything at all. This could have been easily, the effect of the leader skill could have been easily a characteristic of the buff that could be written here in the description. Like they didn't need to put the description that 5 stacks of tipsy become intoxicated. They just needed to put it on the buff. So, and instead we need ways to get tipsy, because this skill, it is not good. It is pretty demanding to use intoxicate if you want to play with that. Oh, even tipsy is pretty demanding because you need to equip Onigoroshi. That's yes or yes. Then you also need skills with a ton of cooldown, like basically 3. Demon Render, Raging Shooten, and Ricochet Frenzy. These are the 3 skills that you need to equip. And also, if you use with a 3-slot build a pure color skill, these have a long cooldown. And even though Tipsy lasts 10 seconds, the thing is that the animation of your damaging skills won't let you have like much wiggle room to transition into another skill. You do whatever damaging skill you have, and then Onigoroshi, and then the other skill and Onigoroshi, and then you go back and Onigoroshi, and so on and so forth. And it's kind of difficult. Basically, this rewards players who have the 4th slot unlocked, and it becomes too pay to win. I mean, these characters and it's just too much effort and micromanaging to get tipsy. I totally get it. Like in this skill, you get a glass and you drink, sure, but they could have easily added another skill, like for example, let's say a spin attack where she spins with the club and also drinks while spinning. That would have been way better. And also, I mean, it's fine to have one skill that gives you tipsy on a follow-up attack, but we need more skills that give you tipsy on activation attacks like Demon Render, like Raging Shooten. Yeah. Another issue with Francis. I mentioned that she really needs super armor on her basic attacks. And after thorough examination, I think that that's actually not true. Because she is supposed to deal massive amounts of damage, thus breaking the enemy's super armor. And at that point, you can use your basic attacks. So you start with your skills, and then you, while you wait for your cooldowns, you use the basic attacks. And that's actually fine, it's balanced. The only issue is that there's one skill that requires you to finish the whole basic attack animation, which is pretty bad. So you want to change this skill. At least the command. It is difficult, I know, because if I'm not mistaken, hold during normal attacks, hold. So yeah, we have hold during normal attacks and hold, which leaves this skill with few options. For example, being unusable on blue, or being unusable on green if you put hold attack, or during normal attacks hold attack as a command. But at the end of normal attacks, is not an option for this skill. Because it's basically impossible to do this. Like, I'm thinking of the scenarios and they're just too niche to actually use this skill effectively. Which is pretty bad. And if they do change this, please add more skills that give you tipsy. I was thinking about applying an activation condition for tipsy in the leader skill so that every 3 skills you get tipsy. Every 3 skill activations you get tipsy. But I don't know if that's too much or too little. And I don't know if it would constantly interrupt the player whenever they're doing their combos and then you cannot do the combos because you become intoxicated. So I don't know. Like, it would be ideal to have tipsy rather than on the leader skill on skills like on Igoroshi. More skills being able to provide tipsy would be nice, so the player can control the combos and decide when to start the intoxicate buff. But also we need this to give us some kind of value. I mean, increase the duration of tipsy on this character. I don't know. Restore HP while being tipsy. Gains defense while being tipsy. Whatever you want. I mean, because this is just the flavor text that was required on the buff itself, the description. I don't know why Gremory did it that way, but we do need to fix that, and I hope they do. But what do you think? What would be a way to fix this buff? I know that game design is not as simple, but this, like, doesn't match. And the fact that Francis is a selfish attacker doesn't help her in any way. Like, her builds are kind of limited because she doesn't offer that much. She's very similar to Heaviko. Heaviko is a little bit better because at least she debuffs the enemy with Snare, and more like Aina. Like, if you have played with Aina and you have seen Aina, you know that she doesn't do anything. Like, she buffs a little bit herself and she does her own interactions that doesn't deal that much damage. They do deal damage, but it's not like, wow, impressive. Francis, yeah, her damage is impressive for sure whenever she does what she's meant to do. Like, when she crits on this, the damage is amazing. When she uses this skill, the damage is amazing. This is fine. The skill that has critical rate is always going to have fine damage, but not the greatest damage. So, yeah. I don't know, guys. How would you fix Francis? How would you fix the tipsy and intoxicated buff so that we can activate it more often and we don't over rely on doing some wacky builds that require Onigoroshi? So, let me know in the comments. Let's help out the developers. Mention what you think about the fixes that I think the game needs. And if you ask the devs to apply these fixes, please do it in a respectful manner, in a respectful way. I beg of you. And also be understanding that the anniversary is coming and that they might be in a little bit of a rush. But do ask them to do whatever they can when they can. So, that's about it, guys. I'll be reading you in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye!